What's up guys, it's Felix here, and as you will have read by the title, I'm quitting my journey to the top 1000. Now before you ask all of the different questions you might have, I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a recap on my journey so far for those of you that haven't been watching the whole time. So I started playing tennis around the age of 7 properly, and at the age of 10 and 12, I was actually top 5 in the nation for both of those age groups. But between the ages of 14 to 18, I actually focused a lot more on my academics as opposed to my tennis. And at 18 years old, I had to make a decision. Was I going to go to university or take a gap year to try and play pro tennis? Now at the time, I wasn't good enough to get a scholarship to America, to a D1 or even a D2 school. The other option was trying to play pro tennis with zero money. Now, me and my dad actually sat together and said, how much do we have between us to put into my career, which was about £5,000 for the whole year, which for those of you that don't know, you probably need about 50 to 60,000 a year to kind of break even on the travel and everything like that, which was clearly far off. So I decided to start Road to 1 ATP point to document my process of trying to go pro, which was pretty delusional at the time, I'm not gonna lie. I was 150 in the nation for under 18s. For any normal person, that would have been completely insane, but I was willing to document my process to try and make it happen, and things began to fall into place. You guys began to support me and watch my videos, which obviously helped me to earn income, to chase my goal. Over the first year, it was a little bit bumpy. I managed to nearly get my ATP point in my first professional tournament. I had an elbow surgery in the first year, but I eventually got my ATP point in September of 2023 in Monastir, Tunisia. That was a big milestone in my career, and having worked for over a year and a half to get there, I think it really served as a reminder of how actually difficult, playing professional tennis is, especially with a lack of a team and a lack of a base. So I didn't have any sort of base level at the age of 18. I wasn't, a college player that was coming out and trying to get to top 100 super quickly. I was really bad. So with that being said, I decided to carry on. I wanted to keep making videos because I was super passionate about it, and obviously keep playing tennis and focusing on my journey. Now at this point, obviously the college tennis route had kind of passed, and so I had to go all in on what I was doing. And so I consistently have kept documenting my journey up until now. But I started the kind of new goal of getting to the top 1,000 players in the world, which was quite a natural progression from getting my first point. However, as you might have already understood, it took me a year and a half to get 1 point. What makes you think, Felix, you would get another 9 or 10 points in the next year? Your answer is probably not the easiest goal. And in hindsight, a very, very optimistic goal for someone of my level at the time, and also my training setup and my training environment. I'm not now Kraz, as you guys clearly will know, or any player for that matter that's kind of a junior that has a lot of opportunities for training, with coaching, that gets helped by the federation. I haven't been helped by anyone other than myself, and obviously my dad and my family, who helped to work to make these videos happen. But fundamentally, I've been able to pay for all of my tennis through making these videos, which is why I make the videos. But with that being said, I think over the last couple of months and years, my training setup hasn't been optimal simply because of affordability. I think a lot of the time it's been this kind of cycle of making videos to earn money, to put back into my tennis, to put back into making videos. And the problem with that is you're never actually able to extract enough kind of value from it to really move to the next level and hire a coach or have a proper training setup where you can really look to improve. Now, have I achieved the results that I would have wanted over the last year? Definitely not. And that wasn't because of lack of effort on the court or lack of effort off the court. I think it was a kind of mixture of not having the right training setup, always focusing on trying to just stay afloat, to make enough money from the videos and brand deals and everything like that. Now, of course, everything that I've done over the last year, I've worked extremely hard on, like the videos, but I think I just underestimated how much effort, time, and money it really takes to rise up the rankings. And right now, I can't afford that. And so I've had to make do with the opportunity that I've had, having a coach with me here and there, and not really having a proper training base in the UK, which is the next thing I'm going to be talking about. So my training setup at home really isn't ideal. There's no one really to practice with. Now, you guys see me play at IMG, Moratoglu, all of these different places, but there was never a fundamental base where I kind of go back to and work on the things that I have actually learned from in the tournament. Now, this isn't to make an excuse on why I haven't, got the results or won more ATP singles points. It's more to look back and reflect and to say, okay, how can we change that environment to improve and get better? Now, the whole process of kind of chasing this goal made me really think about two things. Number one, why I was doing all of this. And number two, what actually is success for me? So I saw a quote recently on Instagram which was, "You're in and amongst the times which you used to pray for." And I really related to that because as an 18-year-old, I always dreamt of being able to compete professionally and just be at the tournaments, just play professional events. And that's what I'm being able to do, thanks to you guys. But, it kind of dawned on me that I'm actually living the dream that I had when I was 18 years old. For me now, success is the process. Success is having the chance to be able to work towards trying to become a professional tennis player, whether that means playing a Grand Slam or just kind of competing at a very high level of tennis. And so I think limiting my success externally to whether I make the top 1,000 players in the world or have 10 or 12 or 14 ATP points, I don't think that's really representative of what success is and what success should be to a lot of people. The process is the journey, and that's the part that you really have to enjoy. And I think for me, I've enjoyed this process more and more as it's gone on, and it's definitely got harder and harder as it's gone on, but I'm someone that I like to overcome challenges. I like to try and find ways to make stuff work, and with this journey so far, it has got harder and harder. I've got more and more kind of speculation from the outside world, which of course, you open yourself up to a lot of criticism from people, but I personally felt that that was kind of distracting me from the things that not only that I'm passionate about, but also the actual process in general. It kind of made me think that I'm not succeeding, or I'm not doing as well. Whereas in reality, for the environment that I have, I think I'm doing a very good job of kind of keeping it together, to be honest. And I really feel like I owe it to myself to give myself that chance. And that's why moving forwards, I'm going to rebrand from Road to Top 1000 to Road to Pro, because I really want it to be about trying to achieve my goals in tennis fundamentally, whether it's me playing a British Tour event, a UTR event, an ITF event. I want to be able to make a living from tennis, and I want to document that with you guys here on YouTube as it happens and as it goes along, without kind of that stigma that, oh, if I haven't reached this goal, I'm not successful, because that's also not really a message that I want to relate to you guys. Because if you're on your tennis journey, you're a 15, 16, 18, 25-year-old, whether you get your ATP point or whether you get your club champs win isn't fundamentally what's going to make or break your life or your process, or going to define whether you're successful. Whether you're successful or not is whether you quit, whether you give up, how you deal with adversity, really looking at what is success. And some of you might define success as you haven't got top 1,000, you're a failure. Okay, that's your opinion. Or they might define success as, have you made it? Or do you think you're ever going to make it? Why are you bothering? And those are all questions which are very personal, kind of to each person. For me, kind of that process is something I'm going to find out. I'm going to find out whether I can make it. And making it for me, of course, I'd love to be able to make a living from tennis, but making a living from making content about tennis and making a living from chasing my goal and my dream, that's also something which for me is success. But if you want to watch me chase my goals and work every single day, day in, day out in the environment that I have, and try to consistently make that better through making content and also working hard on the tennis court, then you're in the right place. And I want to just outline 3 kind of pillars of the content you're going to be seeing over the next couple of months. And the first thing is creating cool tennis content in general, whether it's challenges, whether it's cool reviews of cool products, loads of different stuff like that. I think I'm someone that really enjoys not only playing tennis, but also making content. So I've worked over 40 hours a week on content over the last 3 years, and I edited all my videos myself up until about a year ago. I make all the Instagrams myself and short form content and second channel videos. So I love creating, and I think maybe, when I'm playing tennis all the time and being a pro, that doesn't come across potentially as much as the people that see me behind the scenes. And I of course also love tennis. So if I can kind of combine those 2 things and make videos about something that I'm passionate about, that's something I really, really enjoy doing, and you might be seeing some of those videos on the channel in the future. I'm also obviously gonna carry on with the journey content. That's the staple and the pillar of what I'm doing, like I just explained. But of course, if I play UTR events, if I play British Tour events, if I play ITF events, that's all gonna be encompassed in that, as well as obviously competing in my 100 versus 1 series where I compete against the world's best players. All of those videos serve as part of competing and part of learning, because when I play against Mozzetti, for example, I'm seeing how he's warming up, how he's playing, what I can be doing better. That's all part of the learning process of improving and getting better and getting to where I want to be, because those are the guys that are there. You want to learn from those guys. Haven't done as many videos of that as I'd like, but there's definitely more coming. And the final thing that I'm really actually passionate about, which I haven't done as much, actually focusing on not just my journey, but actually also the people that, I guess I impact and affect. I get a lot of messages from you guys asking for advice, saying that I've motivated you, and that kind of puts it into perspective for me. You even come up to me in person, but it really makes me understand that I'm not just affecting my own career and what I'm doing, but it's actually also so much bigger than just me. And if I can help a lot of you guys with improving at tennis or getting better off the court or just inspiring you potentially to go and chase your goals, then that's something that I also want to kind of bring across in these videos. So I want to really incorporate that into the content going forwards, whether that's in videos or on short form content or a cool secret project which I have coming up. So if you want to be the first to hear about that, then go and sign up to my mailing list in the description. But yeah, fundamentally changing Road to 1000 to Road to Pro, and I'm really excited about what's to come. Next week I'm going to be showing you my journey here of the 25k in Bali, and as you guys see, nothing's really changed in terms of the content that you're going to be seeing regularly or my mindset. If anything, I'm more positive than I have ever been because I have a much more clear roadmap of where I want to go and how I want to get there. So with that being said, if you want to see me succeed, subscribe. It really definitely helps. But I've also got some cool projects which will help with that in the future as well. So yeah, I really appreciate all of your guys' support. Without you guys, none of this would be possible. The 18-year-old Felix would never have had the chance to chase his dream, and I'm forever grateful to all of you that have helped me. Yeah, with that being said, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in next week's video.